How to achieve inner peace, letting go of attachments and mastering your mind. Do you long for a life of peace, free from the things that trouble you? True serenity does not come from controlling external circumstances, but from training your mind to release what is unnecessary and responding with wisdom instead of emotion. Today, you will discover how to apply these teachings so that nothing and no one can ever steal your peace again. 1. Understand the nature of desire and attachment. Buddha taught that the root of suffering does not lie in what happens around us, but in our resistance to accepting reality as it is. This resistance is born from desire and attachment. We want things to be different, we expect people to act according to our wishes, and we hope that circumstances will align with our ideals. But the world does not conform to our expectations, and when we cling to them, we inevitably suffer. Think about your own life. How many times have you felt upset, frustrated, or hurt because something didn't go as planned? Perhaps you expected recognition but were met with indifference. Maybe you trusted someone and were disappointed. Or you wished for an easier life but encountered obstacles instead. In all these situations, the pain does not arise from the event itself but from your attachment to a specific outcome. Imagine someone insults you. The common reaction is anger or sadness. But why? It's not because their words have any real power over you, but because they clash with the image you hold of yourself. You are attached to how others should treat you, and when reality does not match your expectations, you suffer. Similarly, if a plan you had in mind falls apart and you feel frustrated, it is not the event itself that hurts you, it is your attachment to the way things should have happened. The key to freeing yourself from this suffering is detachment. But detachment does not mean indifference or resignation. It does not mean giving up on your goals or ceasing to love others. It means releasing the need for things to be a certain way. It means accepting reality with serenity, without resistance. When you practice detachment, you stop reacting with anger when things don't go your way. You no longer depend on others' approval to feel at peace. You become free, not because circumstances have changed, but because your mind no longer clings to the uncontrollable. Learning to flow with life instead of fighting against it is the path to true, unshakable peace. 2. Train your mind to observe without reacting. An untrained mind is like a stormy sea. Each word, unexpected event, or obstacle stirs up uncontrollable waves of emotion. In contrast, a trained mind is like a calm lake, still and serene, no matter what happens around it. This is the difference between being at the mercy of your impulses and achieving a state of unshakable peace. Buddhist monks have perfected this ability through mindfulness, a practice that teaches you to observe your thoughts and emotions without identifying with them. Instead of reacting automatically, they learn to see each feeling as a passing cloud in the sky of consciousness. Anger, frustration, fear, they all arise and disappear, but the sky remains untouched. When someone insults or provokes you, your instinctive reaction is to respond with anger. But in that moment, you have a choice. Will you let yourself be carried away by the emotion, or will you pause, breathe, and observe? Do those words truly have power over you, or is it your mind that gives them importance? The moment you realize that your distress is not caused by others but by your internal reaction, you regain control over your peace. A powerful exercise to train your mind is to mentally repeat every time something irritates you. Backhand index pointing right, this is just a test. It has no power over me. By doing this, you create a mental distance between yourself and the trigger. You shift from being a victim of your impulses to an observer of your emotions. Over time, you'll notice that what once upset you starts losing its grip on you. What once dominated your emotions will become nothing more than an echo, devoid of real power. This is how a trained mind becomes imperturbable, achieving true inner freedom. 3. Cultivate patience and compassion. Buddha taught that anger and impatience are like poisons that corrode the soul, enslaving us to impulsive reactions. When you allow anger to take control, you don't just lose your peace, you become a prisoner of what upsets you. However, these poisons can be neutralized with two powerful antidotes: patience and compassion. When someone insults you, treats you with contempt, or tries to provoke you, your natural reaction is to respond with anger or frustration. But before reacting, ask yourself, backhand index pointing right, is this person acting this way because they are suffering? Most of the time, the answer is yes. People who criticize, insult, or seek to harm others are often trapped in their own suffering. Do not take it personally, because their behavior is merely a reflection of their internal battles. Patience is not weakness, it is self-mastery. Compassion is not submission, it is wisdom. Understanding that other people's pain manifests in their actions allows you to free yourself from the need to react. A powerful exercise to dissolve anger is: person in lotus position. When someone irritates you, instead of reacting, mentally say, "May this person find peace, and may I find peace too." By doing this, you redirect negative energy instead of absorbing it. You'll notice how your irritation fades and how, instead of mirroring someone else's anger, you become a beacon of unshakable serenity. 4. Let go of what you cannot control. One of humanity's biggest mistakes is trying to control the uncontrollable. We waste our lives worrying about what others think of us, how certain people should behave, how life events should unfold. But Buddha taught that true peace only comes when you release the illusion of control. Think about how much energy you spend trying to change things outside your power. You try to please everyone, only to realize that some people will always criticize you. You hope someone will change their attitude, but they remain the same. You feel anxious when things don't go as planned. In all these cases, suffering does not come from the situation itself, but from your resistance to accepting reality as it is. Fighting the inevitable only leads to frustration. It's like trying to stop the wind with your hands. No matter how hard you try, you will never succeed. The key to peace is learning to let go. Person in lotus position. Whenever you face a situation beyond your control, instead of holding on to frustration, take a deep breath and mentally say, "This is beyond my hands. I release it." You will feel the burden lighten, and instead of wasting energy on what you cannot change, you will begin to focus on the only thing you can truly control, your inner peace. Final reflection: the power of the present moment. Many of our worries come from two places. 1. The past, which no longer exists. 2. The future, which has not yet arrived. But both are just mental constructs, only the present is real. When you focus your attention on what is happening right now, you free yourself from the emotional burdens of the past and the anxieties of an uncertain future. The only moment where you have power is this one. By integrating these teachings into your daily life, you will discover that peace does not depend on external events but on how you choose to perceive them. Backhand index pointing right. True serenity is found in the present moment, and it is always within your reach. Now, tell me, which of these teachings do you feel you need to apply most in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments. Smiling face with smiling eyes sparkles.